Welcome to FRC Media News for Thursday, November 17th, 2016. I'm Keith Tebow. This week we focus on local reaction to the yes vote concerning the legalization of marijuana for recreational purposes here in Massachusetts. We provide information on what Fall River residents can donate to the needy families in this area this Thanksgiving. And we provide details about a new program at the Fall River Public Library. But first, let's discuss the news headlines of the week. We bring in, as we do every week, Will Richmond, the digital news editor at the Herald News. Hey, Will, how are you?
I'm good, Keith. How's it going?
I'm doing well, thanks. Let's first talk about the continuing saga of the Oak Grove Cemetery and the removal of personal artifacts from the grave sites there. The Board of Park Commissioners met yesterday to take up the issue. It's actually their first meeting since a number of incidents has happened. As some people may know, the board voted to have the staff at the cemetery remove personal items after a period of time, and also went sort of above and beyond that to also remove decorative urns and flower pots, some of which have been there for many, many years, removed from the site, and a lot of discourse arose because of that. The Board of Park Commissioners met yesterday and basically said it was our fault that happened. Is that correct?
Yeah, it looks like one of the board members conducted an internal investigation, went through meeting tapes, reviewed the minutes, all that kind of stuff, and clearly determined that it was a vote of the board on a 4-to-1 vote, I believe, to essentially clear out all personal items, which stretched from the previous items such as silk flowers and decorative type of smaller items to include the larger planters, fence posts, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so from that review, they're sort of placing the blame on themselves. They're saying the finger shouldn't be pointed at the mayor's office and his administration, or the recently resigned interim parks director Nancy Smith. Kind of stating the directions were being followed by the vote of the board. So at this point, they are taking full responsibility for what happened at Oak Grove Cemetery.
Did they talk at all about moving forward? What will be the regulations on such artifacts going forward, and whether it will continue to be removed, or are they looking at maybe replacing some of those planters that have been there for so long?
Well, they want to start looking at some state regulations, especially for historic cemeteries, to find out what the common practices are statewide for maintenance, items allowed, that kind of thing. So they'll continue to review the cemetery issue. I would say lessons learned from this whole situation is that they need to know more information about how cemeteries are managed, how they're upkept, what items are appropriate, what items are not. And that seems to be this sort of fact-finding aspect that they're going to go forward with from this point.
All right. Well, let's move on. This morning, Mayor Jazio Correa welcomed the Lieutenant Governor to Fall River, as it was announced that the city is receiving some funding to help spruce up the State Pier area down on the waterfront. And tell us about that.
Yeah, so Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito was in the city this morning to join city officials for the announcement of a $1.6 million award from the Mass Works program to help sort of revitalize the city pier. This will allow for work to shore it up, put in steel pilings, fill in with some dirt, gravel, that kind of material, and get it prepared for redevelopment use. Fall River was one of, I believe, roughly 35 communities out of about 118 that applied for this type of funding. So a good little chunk of money that has been needed for quite a while with the city pier.
Now, this location is not, some people may confuse this with the State Pier. This is actually part of the land that is, I would say, just north of the Cove Restaurant. That correct? Near Point Gloria, that area?
Yeah, it's that section that you might see jutting out from like the boardwalk area in between the Cove and Point Gloria. So completely separate from the State Pier. This has been, I think it's been used for parking by the Cove recently. There's been a lot of talk about development, especially as the next phase of the Route 79 project moves forward. So yeah, this is a key part. There's been talk about a marina there, more boat access, that kind of thing, and even ideas such as a hotel on the site as well. So, but that will be to come. Work there isn't supposed to be completed until next August or so, and beginning in next spring. So, be a while before we really see the outcome of what goes there, but at least there's the fund in there to get started.
Right, and definitely movement down on the waterfront, something we've heard for many, many years here in Fall River. Finally, this week, the city of Fall River officially has a new fire chief, as Chief John Lynch was sworn in on Monday. Not really any big news, as the city council approved his contract last week, but it appears that Chief Lynch is being well received throughout the city.
Yeah, he certainly is viewed as a pretty popular chief. There's a big turnout from amongst the fire department and EMS staffs there for the swearing in on Monday. So a supportive end for Chief Lynch, 31-year firefighter here in Fall River. So I think he's probably got a lot of connections in the department. A lot of people are happy to see him elevated to the top spot. And, he's been described by a couple of people. He's a firefighter's firefighter. Mm-hmm. So lives the position, and hopefully it's, smooth sailing going forward for Chief Lynch.
All right, Will, what's coming up at the paper over the next few days?
Yeah, so this weekend we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the state of the city's pension system. Mm-hmm. It's got a couple $100 million short of where it probably should be to ensure full coverage for all retirees going into the future. So we're taking a look at where that stands. And also on a sort of self-promotion note on behalf of the Herald News, just want to mention we are kicking off the holiday fund tonight with our annual fundraiser, and donations. We'll be looking for those going forward, heading towards the Christmas season and holiday season, so that we can help support the Salvation Army and Citizens for Citizens with their efforts this year. Sounds good, and you won't be joining us next week, so have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk in a couple of weeks. Sounds good. Thanks to all you guys. All right, well, we'll be back with more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Fall River Career Center. Associate Universal Banker. Webster Bank, located at 1450 Plymouth Avenue, is looking for a full-time Associate Universal Banker to deliver sales solutions, service, and transactions to all customers. Must have a basic understanding of personal finances, budgeting concepts, and available to work a flexible schedule. Job number 814-5224. Line Cook. Abbey Grill, located at 100 Rock Street, is seeking a part-time line cook to set up and stock food stations with supplies and prepare food. Excellent understanding of various cooking methods, ingredients, equipment, and cooking procedures. Job number 803-3116. Pediatric Dentist. Cool Smiles, located in the Flint Village Plaza at 933 Pleasant Street, is in need of a full-time pediatric dentist responsible for providing compassionate, high-quality dental care to young patients. Massachusetts certifications and licenses are required. Job number 814-8660. STAR, a nonprofit healthcare and social service agency located at 386 Stanley Street, is looking to fulfill the following positions. Financial Specialist, job number 813-2549. Certified Medical Assistant, job number 813-2513. Health Access Counselor, job number 813-2555. Clinician, job number 813-2519. Case Manager, job number 813-2525. For more information on these or other positions, visit FRCmedianews.org or call the Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. Come December 15th, possessing an ounce or less of marijuana will not be illegal now that Massachusetts voters approved legalizing the drug for recreational purposes. Mike Aguiar, the city's substance abuse grants coordinator, has reservations about the new law, judging by statistics in other states.
In Colorado, they legalized it in 2013, and when they legalized it, youth use between the ages of 12 and 17 went up 20%. That's huge. And I know people now are saying in Colorado the youth use has gone down. What they're not accounting for is the fact that it spiked so high to begin with. If you look at states like Utah or Alabama who don't have any legalization, no medical use or anything, they're down around 4.8% total. And where you have the state of Colorado in that same group, they're in the 20s, you know, easily. Actually not. They're probably around the 12s. When we get to college age, they're in the 30s. The numbers are drastically different. We know for a fact, and this is a fact. When you legalize, decriminalize, approve for medical use, the numbers of youth using will increase. We already know that. We see that with alcohol. We see that with tobacco. That's a fact.
Aguiar is also concerned about how the new law will be introduced into the community.
There are no regulations in place whatsoever right now. There has been no foresight into what if this happens. So are we going to have one on every street corner? Are they going to be able to advertise? Are they going to be able to put it on billboards that my marijuana is better than your marijuana, or we have a sale, or and just there's so many different steps to it. You know, what if taking it across the border? What if people from other communities are coming here to buy it and then bringing it back? They're basically trafficking.
Again, that new law takes effect on December 15th. Thanksgiving is coming up next Thursday, but there's still time for Fall River residents to donate food to the 781 needy families that signed up for food baskets from the Salvation Army. Major Kimberly Bell Anger says volunteers are in the process of putting those baskets together.
Of course, the traditional stuffing and mashed potatoes and vegetables and gravy and turkey and cranberry sauce. We're still looking for turkeys, and any kind of fixings would definitely be helpful to us.
And you're housing it where?
We have a gym here on site, so we have some ladies that are preparing the bags as we speak, and it's being housed in the gym.
Again, the Salvation Army is located at 52 Bedford Street. The Minister of Culture from Cape Verde was in Fall River this week to learn more about how Americans are educated. Abrao Vicente was invited to Bristol Community College, where President John Sprague explained a little about how this institution works.
It is, for example, open door admission means anybody can come. You don't have to pass an exam to be entered into the college. You might have to pass exams to go into a particular program or another, but everybody can come, and it's wonderful. Our average age is about 27 now. When I first started, it used to be 29. So that meant, what did that mean? It meant that some older people in their late 20s, really old people, and in the 30s would come, and we've had students of all ages come and start over. And if they didn't do very well in high school, or they got off to a rocky start, or personal situations prevented them from going on, then this was a place to recover themselves and enter higher education. After receiving we're a two-year school, you get an associate's degree. And after receiving that, earning that, they move to the university. And then they can get a baccalaureate and graduate work after that.
Minister Vicente spoke with FRCmedia News after a brief tour of the college's art gallery.
What is your experience so far in terms of culture in America as opposed to Cape Verde?
This is my first time in America. Everything I know about America is on television and on books. So this is my first step to know better what is going on here, and to make the best connection to make best our relationships between Cape Verde and America. We are starting to do some contact with community college, some universities, to bring them to Cape Verde, because we have a very rich culture, and we need more skills, more experience. I think Cape Verde can win if we do that network with America.
Now, Dr. Sprague had talked about a skill set. What kind of skills would you like your workers to have in your country?
Right now we are connected more with the European models, and right now we are trying to learn how America do and train their students and their workers in certain skills. In the culture, we need multimedia. We need the technique to organize the library. We need everything connect to the creative industries.
Stay tuned. We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
So welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. This is Chubby. He's a 10-year-old Chihuahua. He's an older guy, so if you're interested in him, he actually qualifies for our Senior for Senior program. So if you're over 55, his adoption fee is just $25. He's not terribly active. Oh, he's gonna play a little bit. That's good. It's good to see some playfulness out of him. We just got him recently. He can be a little bit of a lap dog, but mostly he just seems to like to hang out by himself.
You're Ross. This is Rocket. They just arrived last weekend. They're about 3 months old. They're going to be neutered very soon. They are very playful, very needy, and they need a home. They don't have to go home together, but it's always nice if they could. We give them a little space in here, and they have a little romper room time, and they just basically pleasant cats, but if you leave them alone in their cage, they just cry, cry, cry all day. So they are very, very needy. Yes, they are. I know, you're a sweet boy. So if you'd like to come and meet them, they're at Forever Paws Animal Shelter. We're on 300 Linwood Street on the Fall River Tiverton line. We're open 11 to 4 every day, but Wednesday, we are open on Saturdays and Sundays.
Welcome back. Adult coloring has become a new trend. In response to the interest of people who want to take part in this relaxing activity, the Fall River Public Library has set up an adult coloring program held twice a month, according to Assistant Administrator Lillian Verville.
Throughout all libraries, it seems to be a trend because it's a very low-key program to offer, and people say it's very soothing and it's a calming activity. Anybody can do it. There's no right or wrong way. You get to be very creative with the colors. We supply all the material. We have various coloring books that are out there. We put them out for the public. There's the pens, there's the colored pencils. We supply everything, and it's a fun evening to come with your girlfriends or your family members or whoever you'd like to do it with.
And with that, that'll do it for this edition of FRC Media News. You can catch FRC Media News Thursdays and Fridays at 6 p.m. and online 24/7 at frcmedianews.org. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.